Buckle up for a jaw-dropping development in American politics. President Donald Trump has just announced a commutation of the prison sentence for former Congressman George Santos, the disgraced politician who was ousted from office amid a web of fraud allegations. This move raises eyebrows and sparks heated debates about fairness, presidential authority, and the American justice system. But let's dive deeper into the story and see what unfolds. Trump made the announcement on Friday via his platform, Truth Social, stating that he had granted the commutation to Santos, who was serving a 7-year prison term for fraud charges that led to his expulsion from Congress. In his post, Trump described Santos as something of a rogue, noting that many such individuals across the country don't face lengthy prison time. He went on to mention that Santos had endured prolonged periods in solitary confinement and, according to reports, suffered severe mistreatment behind bars. Therefore, I just signed a commutation, releasing George Santos from prison immediately. Good luck, George. Have a great life, Trump added. This decision arrives just a short time after Santos, now 37 years old, turned himself in on July 25th to begin his 87-month sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution in Fairton, located in southern New Jersey, as per records from the Federal Bureau of Prisons. But here's where it gets controversial. Before surrendering, Santos shared in an interview with Al Arabiya English that he had requested a pardon from Trump, only to feel rebuffed. "I don't think it made it to the president," he explained at the time. "Unfortunately, gatekeepers have blockaded for it to ever get to the president." And this is the part most people miss. Even while incarcerated, Santos kept advocating for himself. His verified X account highlighted an open letter he penned to Trump earlier this week, published in the South Shore Press, where he appealed for fairness and acknowledged his mistakes without seeking pity. "Mr. President, I am not asking for sympathy. I am asking for fairness, for the chance to rebuild. I know I have made mistakes in my past. I have faced my share of consequences, and I take full responsibility for my actions. But no man, no matter his flaws, deserves to be lost in the system, forgotten and unseen, enduring punishment far beyond what justice requires," Santos wrote. To provide some context for those new to this saga, let's break down what led to this point. Back in August 2024, the former congressman entered a guilty plea in court to charges of aggravated identity theft and wire fraud, linked to activities during his 2022 midterm campaign. In a court statement, he expressed deep regret. "I deeply regret my conduct. I accept full responsibility for my actions." Santos was booted from Congress in December 2023, well before finishing his term in the U.S. House, a rare occurrence, marking him as only the 6th lawmaker ever expelled from that chamber in its history. During his brief stint in office, representing parts of Long Island and Queens in New York, multiple reports surfaced about Santos embellishing his personal background, including falsifying details about his job history and education. He later admitted to these fabrications, as detailed in various news accounts. Interestingly, before his conviction, he made an attempt to run for office again in another New York district, but ultimately pleaded guilty. For beginners wondering about the mechanics here, a commutation is essentially a presidential act that reduces or ends a prison sentence, often seen as a second chance, though it doesn't erase the conviction itself. This case, however, has ignited fierce debate. On one side, supporters might argue it's a merciful act for someone who's already faced public humiliation and hardship, potentially allowing for rehabilitation. On the other hand, critics could point out that Santos's crimes involved deceiving voters and institutions, raising questions about whether high-profile figures receive special treatment. Is this true justice, or does it undermine the rule of law? And what does it say about accountability for politicians who bend the truth? CNN has contacted Santos's legal representatives for further insights on the commutation. As this story continues to evolve, we'll keep you updated with the latest details. What do you think? Was Trump's decision a bold exercise at executive power, or a step too far in pardoning the guilty? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear if you agree or disagree, and if there's a controversial angle we've missed.